is the Modern Vibes on Vibes Radio.
We're about to have an awesome conversation right here on Mjadala. And we got two awesome guests. They're no strangers to the show, but wanakujanga. Najua, let's get ready to rumble.
Whose was that? Man, those are the days. WW.
Oh, man. So, leo tunataka kuongea juu ya, political promises. And campaign season, crazy enough.
Politics of lies.
Actually, I want to ask them a question. First, what I would introduce, ladies and gentlemen, was another lady in the house.
Yes.
What's good?
I'm good.
Salina MVPs.
I am what's good.
Clearly.
Love it.
My name is Ruth Ambogo. I am a political analyst and sometimes a politician. So we are in politics.
Yeah.
And I'm also a governance consultant on matters youth and youth participation in democratic processes, to be specific. So this is a topic that, is at the core of my heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ruth for the youth.
Yes.
Ruth, a quick one. Last time you were here, you said you were a political aspirant. That's what
Yes, I was once.
time.
Yes.
Story ya Homa Bay iliendaje?
Ilikuwa Vihiga.
Oh, Vihiga, yes. Iliendaje?
Ilikuwa Vihiga. Well, I was an aspirant at some point. I was vying for the seat of woman representative.
Uliwacha hiyo story?
Niliacha hiyo story.
Kwa nini?
I assessed, first of all, an opportunity came, and a different opportunity came up.
Bigger opportunity.
A bigger opportunity came up, so I had to consider which to take, still along the political lines.
Didn't consult with the people.
No, the people,
What
people will be pangwa.
All right.
Opportunities come, unapanga watu baadaye.
I saw that,
Yes.
and I'm glad you used that word. In the blue corner, man who's been here before. Actually, in fact, last Monday too. Karibu sana tena sana. Hold on. I don't know why your mic is not working. Hold that thought. Remember, you're on Morning Vibes, and yes, 20 kazi.
Yeah. Okay. Can you just move?
Yeah.
Okay, my name is John Makababu, the president, Kenya Kwanza youth president.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Karibu sana. Weekend imekuaje?
Kendi imekuwa poa. Tuzilalamika tujakuwa na activities mob. Lakini umesikia hii mambo ya budget ndio imetuletea shida
sana. Na pia kuna in fact the first question nataka kuuliza campaign season imeanza? Just out of curiosity, just answer my question.
Some people are campaigning even before they finished. I mean, people started campaigning way back. I think as early as 2020 people were already campaigning. Campaign season ilianza kitambo sana. So now we are just in the heat. Tuko hapo katikati.
120 days left.
But when are campaigns supposed to start?
Ideally, campaigns are supposed to start
Two months to election.
2 months.
3 months.
2 months.
May 29.
Yes.
3 months.
Yeah.
Na iyo. So there's a caller who called here during the MVP report akasema, my leaders on both sides of the divide, actually on all sides of the divide, right? If they can't respect the law, surely sisi wa Kenya ndio tutarespect law. Campaigns zilianza kitambo. Kevin ameshinda hapa kiniambia atirawa anafanya meet the people too.
Zilikuwa meet the people too. Yote ime. No, Ruto ndo alianza campaigns mapema.
Yes, Ruto started campaigning 5 years ago.
And even Baba wasn't so sure. Remember Baba was saying, I have not declared if I will run. Remember?
Hold on.
For us, we used to go to church. And we leave the church. Fans could stop our convoy and want to hear from us.
You know what? So clearly, as you can see, this is going to be an amazing conversation. Remember, you're on Morning Vibes. But right now, I want to play your song. And when we come back, we want to talk about these promises. Because campaigns as Janza, lakini zimeanza, lakini as Janza, lakini
Babylon must have forget blast away.
Modern Vibes, where you are the MVP.
That's what we're saying.
Well, mama, hi. All right, so welcome back, guys. In studio, we got Ruth Ambogo and John Mark. Of course, we're talking about politicians and empty promises. But kabla tuingie nini conversation, debate, I want us to talk about weekend action, right? A lot of things have happened over the weekend. Kenya Kwanza, on one end, Ruto amesema hiyo story ya hate speech list. You had what NCIC walichomoa list. Words like hata hatupangwingu, which has been one of the most popular songs from 2021. That word has been blacklisted. What are your thoughts on that?
in each political divine wanakuwa na rallying kuliao. Like for the Azimio they went for more of a transition song yenye it was ilikuwa ina capture the western community. For Kenya Kwanza we are targeting the young generation. The young born of 2000 kuendelea. Au ndio majority watavote 2022. To for them hatuwezi waimbia lero ni lero. No for them. Tunawaambia hatupangwingi mavijana.
Hebu ngoja kwanza.
You understand? Hatupangwi.
Ruth amereact sana crazy. Lero. Unaona hiyo ngoma ina permit.
No, you see the thing is sometimes political parties just go for something that is just catchy.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't necessarily have to signify that you're targeting a particular population or a particular demographic. It could just be something that is just catchy. For instance, when you ask me about what TB Mjadala meant in the last general election, I can't give you an answer, and yet it was quite a rallying call for the it was quite a what was it called, a team song for NASA back in 2017. So I don't think we need to really look into the songs that these people pick or the lines that they want to use, because I mean it doesn't necessarily need to have a particular demographic in mind, because the song Lero it's just a beautiful song that is easy to dance to, and the message is that today is today, leo ni leo, asemaye kesho ni muongo. The message is that today is today, asemaye kesho ni muongo. This is our time. That's the message. Now so it doesn't when they were picking the song, they were not thinking of demographics. They were thinking of the message that the song communicates, which is that leo ni leo, asemaye kesho ni muongo. This is our time, basically. That's what the song means.
All right, so we're going to take a short one. We had put out a poll hapo kwa hashtag Vibes Radio, hashtag Kwambooks and Kev. Na tunauliza, because right now we've seen 3 songs?
So there's that one Baba did with Bahati, and then the Lero ni Lero, and then there's also the other one for
Atupangwing with the remix, man.
With the latest one.
Mimi nauliza ma MVPs maze, chezeni kama nyinyi kwa hiyo poll, mtuambie ni ngoma gani imeshika, because some campaign songs are important, as much as Ruth is trying to downplay this, man.
I mean,
unakumbuka ilikuwa 2002 Unboogable. My friend
the Maji.
Hata ile ya 2007. That one was a crazy one.
Which one?
Ile Raila na Kalonzo na mpira alafu Mudavadi something.
The late Mike was called that guy for the reggae.
I can't remember his name.
And then there's also the song that Tano Tena. So campaign songs are important. I just want to ask you, dear MVP, gani imekushika? Gani ndio mi hata ya Bahati sijui hata inaendaje?
Ya Bahati hata nayo.
You know why I need to pick? No, but tunajua kwa nini kupick, because clearly the guy msea ile side ingine. You know what I mean? No, sorry. Bahati is actually in Jubilee. Jubilee. Yeah,
Tunge juu ya historia Azimio this weekend have found it very difficult to split the cake. Mambo ya direct nomination, what are your thoughts on this? Pali mtu tu anaambiwa, okay, you're the person, and people have been complaining. He just mentioned Gladys Wanga in Homa Bay, the situation. And we had Charles Uwino, former police spokesperson, although the question is, do you really think he had a chance? But alisema pia yeye aliulipa akaingia kwa party ako ready kunini, akaambiwa a step down, and we've had so many cases like this. How hard do you think, because even if you look at the paper today wanasema this is the headache that leader wa Azimio konayo sahi?
I think one thing that we must look at is the dynamics around nominations. That go to nominations where you line up, you queue, and you vote for whoever you want in the party primaries. We have to look at the dynamics around that and how expensive nominations are, how expensive it is to conduct a nomination, especially the gubernatorial nominations. That it takes, it requires political parties to literally pose as a mini IBC in terms of resources. Kama IBC itself complains that they don't have resources, what would political parties do? And yet they don't. We know that political parties don't have as much funding as we would expect them to have. So first of all, nominations are quite an expensive affair. And second, we have to look at the demographics, the dynamics of democracy. That in as much as we say that democracy is supposed to be a rule where you have every person expressing their will through a vote. Majority wins and people expressing their will through a vote. There have been ways through which democracy has been exercised that doesn't necessarily require people to line up and vote. In even advanced democracies such as the UK, they use consensus sometimes in certain political parties use consensus to decide who becomes their flag bearer.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do that because you already know who is going to be an automatic winner if an election is going to be held. That if an election were to be held, you have done your research. It is clear, it's evident that this person would definitely win.
Ruth,
one thing that I will tell you for
but
sure.
if it's just to on that point that you said, how democracy has evolved, and parties can use whatever means to.
What's the criteria?
Whatever happened in Homa Bay, for example, what criteria did you use to pick Wanga? For example,
for Gladys Wanga, let me tell you,
because it seems like people on the ground are so disappointed in all people saying the party.
Let me tell you what happens. What happens is once consensus has been arrived at and a particular candidate has been picked, you will definitely expect that the other people who are in the race will come up with ways of making it look like they were so popular and they were bypassed. The criteria mostly usually is that they conduct opinion polls on the ground. They literally walk around asking people, if an election were to be held today, who would you vote for?
Then what about
they get a sample size of people who they ask these questions to, and they also look at generally just observing.
Do you think they ask people in Siaya? Because apparently Orengo's not as popular as Gumbo and Owino.
No, but how do you know if you're not on the ground? But one thing I'd tell you is that also politicians manipulate polls. Because I remember one time I was called by a friend, and it's not very long ago, literally like 3 weeks ago. The friend was calling me and asking me if I know of aspirants in Vihiga County who would want to have one of the popular polls. It's a very popular poll, and it's actually one of the trusted polls manipulated in their favor, so they can pay a particular amount of money to have the polls manipulated in their favor. So sometimes politicians actually pay to have polls manipulated in their favor, which might not end up being the reality on the ground. But for Homa Bay County, I have relatives in Homa Bay County. I have been in Homa Bay County recently. I can tell you for sure Gladys Wanga was a sure bet.
All right, I just want to throw it Kenya Kwanza, man. You're also having consensus. Challenges. Munatumia criteria. Are you agreeing with what Ruth is saying?
I don't agree, because if you see to our Kenya Kwanza
see with this we
never agreed. We never hurried to form our coalition. And our coalition, if you see our coalition, currently we are currently having 4 political parties. But for Azimio, they really hurried to go and form. They hawakujipanga. Hao walikimbia tu chama, they formed like 26 parties. Hawana formula, hawana nini. And that's why our party leader, flag bearer, William Samuel Ruto, being a smart politician, he never hurried. Akajipanga, tukatuliza, tukazone our regions. Tukasema, now that the swing votes or battlegrounds, we will use a consensus. But where the stronghold of any particular party, they'll go for party primaries. And that's why we started with Narok. From the popularity ground, Narok has been zoned as a swing vote or a battleground. We went there and talked to whoever were vying for the governorship position. We talked to them. We used our own opinion, our own polls, and we realized Tunai is more popular than Oltos. From there we agreed.
So you're still using consensus as well?
Yes, of course. Specifically to battlegrounds. But now if you see to ODMs, if maybe haujui mama, haujui mzee, or haujui the brother, hapo ndio certificate inaenda. Like now, which criteria did they use?
I don't think that's a fact.
Which criteria did they use to give Oburu direct nomination for the Senate in Siaya?
We're coming back to Ruth looks like she's ready to respond. Kevin, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Hold that thought. Niko na swali pia. Mombasa muna field nani?
Mombasa sisi tuna field Omar Hassan.
Mulianza campaign kwa sababu ukitembea Mombasa hakuna hata billboard moja.
Yeah, Omar.
Hold that thought. 25 minutes to 9 a.m. We enjoy reggae music. Hata kama reggae lizimwa hapa Vibes Radio. Reggae never stops.
Rebels and reggae heads, start your day the MVP way. Where you are the MVP, no negative vibes.
Reggae music again. Na kuna poll hapo tumeweka, tunauliza ni song gani ya kampeni imekubamba sana. Kuna fire ya Bahati, hiyo ilikuwa ya Azimio. Alafu Sipangwingwi X-Ray hapo, actually Sipangwingwi the remix hiyo amefanyia UDA. Alafu Lero ni Lero ya Musindi pia kwa hapo ndani. Ni gani imekubamba so far so good? Nikuulize Independence wana because I I think that is literally the fastest way to do campaign. Enda tu tafute hit artist akuandikie ngoma, ufanye kitu yako hapo, uweke on heavy rotation kwanza, make sure igue ngoma ya reggae, tacheza kila pahali. Nimekupatia mwa Kenya.
Tendo utafute Mbarambara.
And remember wewe acha unataka tu kwanza campaign yako.
Mbarambara will win you a campaign.
Itaanguka kutoka kwa roli.
My friend. All right, we're in studio having a conversation about Mjadala kwa public opinion. Na leo tunaongea juu ya empty promises. In fact, we're just catching up on ism politics and because it happened over the weekend. And right before we took the break, I just want to tell you who's in studio, Ruth Ambogo and Ruth, una represent nani?
Mimi na represent Azimio. Mimi ni mtu Azimio.
Na John Mark hapa, People's President, representing Kenya Kwanza. Uliuliza Ruth swali, muulize tena.
Niliuliza Ruth swali. Which criteria did they use to give Mr. Oburu a direct nomination?
Najua kitu moja, we have to agree is that what happens is that watu wakiona anybody from the Odinga family, they become very critical. For anybody from the Odinga family is looked at with a lens, yani unaangaliwa, unascrutiniziwa as if you're not supposed to be a leader. When in reality, we're supposed to look at you as an individual. Tunafaa kuangalia wewe mwenyewe, what have you been able to achieve? Umeweza kuachieve nini in your individual capacity as a leader? Because the truth of the matter is that hawa watu wamekuwa kiongoza. We've had a number of people from the Odinga family who have involved themselves in politics. So Oburu Odinga being one of them. Tunafaa tumwangalie yeye as an individual, wakati alikuwa kiongozi, all these times amekuwa kiongozi, what has he been able to achieve for the people of Siaya? And the truth of the matter is, on the ground he is a performer. He is a performer.
So hii ni ile ya consensus.
Hii ni ile ya consensus. Unaangalia tu mtu unasema ni performer, unaangalia ratings zake, watu wanamkubali ama hawajamkubali. Kama amekubalika, anapatiwa direct certificate. It doesn't matter whether they are from that family or not. Years to come, miaka zenye zinakam, tutaona families kids of William Ruto will be vying for elective positions.
But someone can argue and say that yes, there's what you've done, and there's also new blood, right? There's new people coming on board, you know, who are also suited, because I mean, kuna venye umefanya, lakini kuna mtu mwingine mwenye anakuja anaweza take us to the next level.
No, we understand
and they're going
that,
to be left out because you said family name.
No, I didn't say family name. When I brought up the family name, I said we become very critical of these people. Tunaanza kwa scrutinize sana because ati wako related na Raila Odinga. You get? But the point I'm trying to put across is that tunafaa tuangalie as an individual. Hata tukifanya hizo polls, atufanyi polls based on ati uni relative wa Raila Odinga. Hapana, tunafanya polls based on watu wanakutaka ama hawakutaki. That's just it.
Kama watu wanakutaka ama hawakutaki, see then let it go to the nominations.
No, but I mean it's the same thing. It's the same thing we could argue for Kenya Kwanza. They've been issuing out direct nominations to people who have not gone for nominations, and yet mimi mwenye niko hii side, for example, if I was to tell you, if I look at the metrics yenye wametupatia hapa Nairobi, kutuambia ati for example huyu madhi anaitwa nani huyu, achana na Omanga kwanza, Bishop Margaret. If you look at Margaret Bishop Margaret versus Karen Nyamu for Senate, I'm telling you for sure Karen Nyamu would actually make a better senator, make a better senator, and yet Karen Nyamu ameoshwa. So it's across board. It's across board. Unajiuliza, and you know, nimesikia argument yake akisema ati walinyang'anya Karen Nyamu certificate ati kwa sababu she was pregnant and she was campaigning. Ati that's exactly very happy. When we were on a break, he mentioned, alisema ati the reason why Karen Nyamu hakupatiwa hiyo certificate ni kwa sababu alikuwa on a break for 9 months akiwa pregnant, which is actually quite discriminatory. It is quite discriminatory because when you look at Karen Nyamu's campaigns, that lady alikampeni mpaka dakika ya mwisho. Alizaa hivi na 1 week later alikuwa amerudi kwa ground.
Lakini hold on. Ruth, lakini hizi mambo za off air tuleti on air.
I know, una shine.
John Mark. Ruth,
maybe to add more in information to her. Recently, the Ruth Odinga, the former deputy governor of Kisumu County, we saw her saying she can never be, hawezi enda kwa nomination. familia yao wamepigania inchi na wamepigania specifically Nyanza and Luo community. Yeah, anasema apewe direct nomination ya women rep.
Can I just
she said that it was on public.
No, Joe Mark, you lie. I swear to God, you lie. Can I say one thing? On social media, nilimwona over the weekend, because me I understand Luo. Alikuwa anasema hataki direct ticket. She wants to face with the other opponents for women rep. Joe Mark, you lie.
This was this weekend. The other weekend, when we were supposed to have nomination in Turkana. That's what she said. She said that's what she assumed. But the sister to the party leader, when she uttered such words, what do you expect from the opponent?
But Ruth anasema ataki your family name. You see her as an individual.
Yes. Na hiyo backfire after wananchi kukataa kusema hata ukue dada ya Raila, ukue mtoto wake, kuja kwa uwanja tubishane, ukishinda chukua. Na hiyo ndio democracy. Na that's why inaambia wale watu wa Azimio kwamba sisi we sat down, tukaenda zoning, tukasema tuna strongholds na tuna battleground. Most of where tunapeana direct nomination ni battleground. Where tunaenda through consensus. But hawa wanapeana direct nomination kwa stronghold zao. Hiyo ndio swali tunajiuliza jameni. Kama stronghold yako hutaki tufanye nomination, ni wapi utafanya nomination?
Alright, I want you to hold that thought. Nataka turudi tena. Naona watu hapa wanatuambia what song yenye imewabamba. We're going to come back and read that one. When we come back, historia bringing people together. Unaona kama ya deputy president. Kenya Kwanza, what is happening? Who's running mate ni nani?
Who's the man?
Sid Shachora.
Relax wewe, nimesema ufikirie hapo mbele. Alafu hapa Azimio, Azimio mpaka hata nani former governor kwanza wa Machakos
walikuwa kwa keja nani Azimio guys went to Atwoli's house in Kajiado. Wakasema there's a big announcement. So I want Ruth to tell us
just
the criteria for picking the DP.
That's what we want to hear. Hold that thought. 14 minutes to 7 a.m. To 9 a.m. Jesus. Remember, you're on Morning Vibes. The vibes are just right. Here's Brian.
Rebels and reggae heads, start your day the MVP way, where you are the MVP. No negative vibes.
Good voice.
He's got a really good voice. Now, guys, I've got just 8 minutes left to Malize conversation, and let's take it to the next level. Okay, now we have, I think one of the big headaches, if you look at the front page of the paper, wanasema running mates. Nataka tuanze na Kenya Kwanza. Munaendaje? Kunaendeleaje?
Running mate yetu sisi pia tumekuwa is either atatoka Western or atatoka Central, because now Rift Valley ndio inatoa flag bearer of the presidency. So now tunafanya some opinion polls, a situation where tumepea mse kutoka Central effect gani tutakuwa na maybe from Western na nini. Na pia kuna agreement ambayo tumesign on Saturday ambayo most likely tusha agree on the running mate. It's only that ijakuja public so soon by next month by 19th kwa tushatangaza running mate.
Let me ask you,
so saya hatuna pressure but as things are, the running mate either atakuwa Justin Muturi or atakuwa Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi.
So let me ask you,
si hatuna pressure, it's either of the two.
Tuangalie au candidates wawili. Ukiangalia mse kama Mudavadi, if at all mtamchagua kwa DP wa Ruto running mate, do you think you miss out on the Mount Kenya votes? It affect in any way how the voting patterns will be? Mount Kenya?
Of course.
Are you expecting 80-90% bado?
Of course, because now the mountain wamesimama na sisi sana kama Kenya Kwanza, because hiyo coalition tumekuwa nao na wajai through. As current we are enjoying 80%. But now also the running mate may cost us pengine degree kidogo.
Jilikuwa na cheki Gachagua akisema there's no way running mate anafaa kutoka Mount Kenya.
Of course, of course inafaa. Sababu gani nakwambia hivyo? Because na ndio maana tuna wait Azimio. Azimio tunajua, na ndio maana tunatumia Kalonzo abweke sana kwe pale.
Ati mmemtuma huko.
Tunamtuma huko abweke. Kalonzo tumemtuma na mtu anabweka sana.
Alright, let's talk about
immediately they give Kalonzo tuko na better side kupea Musalia. So tunaweka Central as a battleground. Na sisi we enjoy the majority. Kwa tumwapiga 10.
So mumeshikilia kadi hapa until hao wengine waoneshe kadi yao. Speaking of Azimio, man, I mean, you know, things it seems like Baba is having a headache right now.
I know.
You know, is it Kalonzo? Is Mutua has even thrown himself in there, said, guys, give me a chance, I will do it. I will run if Baba says run. How fast?
Is this a bad problem or a good problem?
I think it's a headache for everybody, including hata hawa wase wa Kenya Kwanza ni headache bado. Hata I think Babu anajaribu tu kuifanya inakaa simple, but hata yeye anajua kwao. Hata yeye anajua Jimmy Njigi labda ndio hana headache, but hata Babu anajua even kwao it's not as easy as vile anajaribu kuipaint. So running mate is definitely going to be a headache for Raila Odinga, na kwa sababu the reason why Raila Odinga kwake itakuwa headache ni kwa sababu there are so many vested interests. Unaona all these political parties zenye zimekuja kujoin Rao, most of them have demands, and I'm sure not just the political parties but even hata tribes zenye zinamsupport, kila mtu akona demands zake. Na majority of them demand yao ni deputy, I mean the running mate position. So it's going to be a headache for Raila Odinga, but again they might also just play the same card yenye Babu anasema kungoja wase wakichagua hivi pia sisi tunangoja wachague ndio sisi pia tu.
What is Baba looking for in a running mate?
I think what Baba is looking for, kitu Baba anatafuta kwa running mate hata si mambo na qualities, hata hawa wanajua. Even them they know hakuna mambo na qualities kwa running mate. It's about numbers.
It's purely numbers.
It's purely about numbers.
Then we can guess.
All right,
it's purely about numbers.
If it's numbers,
nani ataleta numbers, nani atamleta zile numbers zenye anataka. So I think for Raila Odinga ile sababu atapiga ni where will he get votes from, like mahali penye ako guaranteed of votes na mahali penye hayuko guaranteed of votes. For instance, akipata kwamba ako guaranteed of votes kwa zile strongholds zenye alikuwa nazo previously zote, kama zote zitamvotia vile zilikuwa zinampigia kura, then he might end up picking from Mount Kenya so that at least apate hiyo vote ya Mount Kenya, a bit of Mount Kenya vote, you know. But then I won't be surprised akichagua Kalonzo, and I mean akichagua Kalonzo definitely Kenya Kwanza watachagua Musalia. So
game shot. We know from reliable source, tunajua ni Kalonzo anapewa, wakipea Kalonzo cheka Musalia, we enjoy the Mount Kenya vote, because currently the Mount Kenya votes ni kama wamechanganyikiwa kwa hii siasa, wamewachwa. So is either wachukue the lesser devil, na the lesser devil hapa ni William Samoei Ruto, ndio amekuwa kutembea na yeye. One option is either waanguke huko ama waanguke huko.
All right. Guys, we've run out of time, man, but I really wanted us to have this conversation about budget the finance bill 2022. I know that Kenya Kwanza, you have something to say about that. I'm just going to give you 1 minute to say something, because your party leader kitu amesema Kwanza akiingia, if they don't dismember it when in parliament, then akiingia in office as president, this one of the first things he's going to dismember. What do you think?
Hiyo budget imeumiza mwananchi sana. At this hour tumetoka kwa COVID, imetukula for 2 years, tunaingia tunapata hash budget juu tunaenda election.
Lakini ukisikia Ukuri Yatani anasema unajua economy may grow, there's development here and there, blah blah blah. Could your response, even whatever budget ingepatikana in an election year, wouldn't this still be the same rhetoric?
No, it will be, kwa sababu unatuambia economy grow aje na wananchi wana pesa mfukoni. Sisi tunataka economy ki grow, kila mwananchi aweze ku afford the basic commodity. Kusema kweli, kuna mwananchi sasa anaweza afford, wengi wao wanalala njaa. Sababu gani? 1 liter of cooking oil sasa ni around 300 shillings. Watu wote wenye wanafanya inda wanalipwa either 500 or less than 500. Sasa unaniambia utembee kutoka Kariobangi hadi industrial area, umejinyima hiyo ni fair, umepewa 300. Hiyo 300 huwezi buy unga, huwezi buy mafuta, huwezi buy majani. Sasa economy imegrow aje? Economy ina grow kama pesa iko mfukoni. Angalia wa neighbors wenye ni landlocked countries kama Uganda. Imagine hata tukui shamed, mafuta kule inapatikana na mafuta yenyewe inapitia ni transit ya kutoka from Kenya. So president akuja tuambie ni nini ameongeza hii budget, wananchi wanaumia ama anaficha pesa kuenda wapi?
Wow. What are your thoughts?
I think for me, my thoughts on this issue ya budget ni kwamba first of all tuko na global economic, it's a global economic crisis that we are facing. So si unique to Kenya peke yake. Hata tukiongea stories za bei ya mafuta kuongezeka, tunajua the dynamics za bei ya mafuta kuongezeka ni kwa sababu ya hii war yenye inaendelea Ukraine na Russia. So it's and it's not just a blanket statement ya kusema hivyo, ni kwa sababu sunflower uproduciwa kwa hizo countries, so hizi some of these problems zenye tuna face ni kwa sababu ya hiyo war inaendelea Russia na Ukraine, and also COVID-19 also had a role to play in the challenges and the struggles zenye tuna face as a country. So we must be very objective tukiongea kuhusu mambo ya economy. Lazima tukuwe objective, tuangalie some of the prevailing circumstances zenye tuko nazo as a country size zenye tuna face, na pia tuangalie the situation yenye iko globally, what is the situation around, you know. So lazima tukuwe objective tukiongea hizi vitu, si kwa tu radical tukisema hapo ati pesa lazima zikuwe kwa mfuko wa watu ndo tuongea about economic growth. Alafu dynamics za economic grow pia ni different sana, una get.
All right guys, I gotta end it there. Clearly again another awesome conversation. Guys, remember there is a conversation we're having also on the hashtag Kwambooks and Kev. Tumeuliza ma campaign songs isha drop mazina, unajua sisi tunapenda mangoma. Ni ngoma gani imekubamba? Ni gani ina carry hiyo sensation ya
Yo Paul, by this 80% wanasema zipa ngwingwi.
Na hiyo ndio the young generation, na nilikuambia you must resonate with the people you are targeting.
Lakini sasa unasikia venye nani wamesema NCIC. In fact, we want to speak to Paul Kobia because I want to ask this question. I mean, ngoma ni popular. Every DJ, every club inacheza ngoma, right? That's the original. So what happens when you're in the club and the DJ plays the song? Nafa hiyo pati ya Sipruna ni siseme.
Vibes Radio, the home of reggae.